collaboratively enhance the safety and well-being of our town.
Police Forum with Inspector Rennie, bringing you the information and answers you need. That's every Friday at 10 a.m. on 88.5 Sufre FM. 88.5 Sufre FM, your voice, your lives.
And of course, we have 40 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock, folks. Let me just apologize for the late start. Permit me, I'm not 100 this morning, but that flu is still trying to get the best of me. Let me apologize for not having Inspector Rady this morning. Of course, he had to take care of some business. All right. So again, on his behalf, I just want to apologize. But this morning here with me, of course, Xavier. Sergeant Xavier, they headed there for you this morning. Yeah. So Sergeant Xavier is here with me, sitting in for Inspector Rady. Yeah.
Well, I want to make the correction. Okay. I am actually a guest. Mr. Rennie was supposed to be the host. He was unable to make it due to some police duties that called.
Police matters.
Yeah, police matters. So he had some pressing police matters to take care of. So he's doing that as we speak.
All right. So this morning, our topic for this morning is...
Okay, we've had a lot happening in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force lately that I think is not getting much airing. And it has to do with community policing and also some of the new initiatives that we have placed on board, like the police choir and several other initiatives that we've been undertaking. I think it's not getting enough airing, and we came on the show here to just highlight some of what we've been doing as an organization.
So some of what
in the aspect of community policing.
So some of what you just highlighted, like the choir, would that enhance or play a major role in community policing?
Yes. Well, community policing.
What is
we tend to look at community policing as the smarter side to policing. We do not want to say, some persons look at it and say, community policing is a softer side. I don't think policing should be looked at as anything soft. It's a very difficult task. And we want to say the smarter side of policing, where there is more community involvement, community engagement. So with the new commissioner that we have now, he came up with his crime fighting strategy. And part of the crime fighting strategy, he had three approaches towards crime, which is problem solving, and he had the community policing aspect of that, and also traffic, and crime management.
Okay, let's break it down. Problem solving, what would that entail?
Problem solving, well, any issues that would occur during your, or you'd say problem solving, problems that would occur during the fight against crime. You would have to look at it objectively, what is causing it, and then finding suitable solutions to deal with the situations. And as I said, it's a tripod approach. It's in three tiers. So community policing, that's where I fell under at the time. And Mr. Rennie felt it was fitting to take me in to speak a little about it.
And in regards to that, you made mention of problem solving. Prior to problem solving, what do you think about conflict resolution?
Conflict resolution, it plays an integral role in community policing. I believe if we as citizens have better conflict resolution skills, a lot of crime would not occur. Like, it would be reduced significantly.
Amicably.
And then we need to go down to the root of the issues. Start with young persons at the school, the way that they view things, the way that they deal with situations. And during my time at the community policing unit, there was a particular event that I had in Viewfort called the Christmas Experience. And some of what happened during that event, it clearly showed that by playing, children could learn how to develop proper conflict resolution skills. We had the musical chairs where the music would play, children would be just circling around the chairs. And then when the music stopped, they would have to sit. What you find, some persons would not accept that they were the last to get to the chair. And then that's already a conflict. Right? Yes. So then they need to understand it's fair game here. Now, yes, it's fair game here. And if you could start learning these conflict resolution skills from young, when you grow up and you're dealing with tens of thousands of dollars and $30,000 in business, you would be able to understand, hey, we are big men here. Let's try to settle that thing amicably and don't get ourselves in issues where we might have to reach the court or they might have a crime occurring.
What I do agree, what integral role can parents play? Because you know how children like to emulate what they see. Fathers, mothers, children like to emulate their parents.
Yes. As a parent, well, it's nothing new to me. I have 4 kids, as old as 26, 24, 15, and the other 8. You have to be an example to your kids. And it's not do as I say. It is do as I do. You may not see it that way, but that's the way the children interpret it. What kind of father are you? Are you spending time with your kids? Are you spending time so you could listen to them and understand them? And changing because the children face a lot of influences out there. At the school, peer pressure, they get children that do not follow the same kind of upbringing as what you try at your home. And they come from different backgrounds, different homes, and they might try to tilt the brain of your child to go in a different direction than what you actually preaching and teaching at your home. And it is your job as a parent to let them know this is not the way. That's what I expect of you. And you need to follow that. You need to set that example as a parent too. So they could actually see it, and then the children would follow suit.
Again, still in community policing, how can, well, boy, we the 21st century, boy, children, either you got to say, you got to talk to that child, tell that child, well, trying to hit that person child, because that thing, they're like, it takes a village to raise a child. I don't think that thing works currently, right?
Well, from my assessment, I still believe that the community has an integral role in the development of a child. With all the negative influences out there, or we may perceive it to be negative because of the way we probably introduce things. For example, something like the internet. How many parents sit down and speak to the children about the internet? How do you use the internet positively? And what negative impact that the internet could have on your kids? You just give them a tablet. But I am quite sure there are certain times you just go on your phone and the things that pop up on the phone, you'd say to yourself, wow, but I never went
in search of that.
And then it's just there. Because people get ways to do the ambush marketing and different things. And that happens to your children's devices too. So you as parents, how do you deal with that? How do you handle that? I would say most of the time, there are certain things you cannot hide away from children.
But I thought there's something called some restriction, like parental restriction. I think you can
on certain
devices.
Yes, certain
Especially
devices.
If I remember clearly, Apple.
Yeah, but remember, with these devices, persons build them, and persons also could break the codes and to push their own agendas and their own narratives. Yes, so as I was saying, children, they face a lot out there, peer pressure, because during my short stint at the community policing unit, I have seen so much with children just through peer pressure doing certain things that they would not normally do, and even their parents are so surprised that's my child doing that, and sometimes you cannot even blame them when they don't believe that their child did that.
Because
Yeah.
it comes with shame, embarrassment.
Exactly. So you'd find some children, they come from really good upbringing, good homes, and when they reach the school, their prayers are probably partaking in certain activities, and they want to show like they're part of.
I think I saw you on a video like that one.
They want to feel be part of, and they would just join with their peers. And this is where you, as a police officer, your humanitarian side of policing will show. Because sometimes I always start with a story sometimes when I try to explain certain things. There was this young man I met some time back. He came to the police station, he made a report where somebody broke his leg. He was a taxi driver. So I prepared the entire police station to go and get that guy. If that guy could break somebody's leg with a pole, a piece of stick, I mean, you need to be very careful when you're going to arrest him, apprehend him, take him down to the police station. When we reach at the place, I am knocking on the door and I'm asking for the gentleman. He said, "That's me. I'm seeing a young boy." The boy, yes, he was about 17 years. I mean, Form 4. And during the interview, I'm just seeing that boy did not even know what he did. It was through peer pressure, persons there with him, pushing him, doing certain things. And as a police officer, you cannot get involved in the matter. So it was so nice to see that even the taxi driver, the person who reported him, the complainant, recognized the very same thing that I recognized. And they end up taking the settlement.
Okay.
Right? They took a settlement.
Out of court?
Yes, out of court. So the taxi driver said to him, "That's why you don't even know what you did there." The parent, they paid off everything. And then a couple of years after, just doing my normal policing duties, I got a call, but it was a WhatsApp video call. And that guy was working overseas. I suspect he was having a conversation with certain persons. And he was there saying, "Yeah, man, that's me there. You don't remember me?" And I'm trying to remember who's that. He said, "That's me there, guys. I'm working there. That's my job there and this and that." And then he was telling the guys, "This man saved my life, man. This man saved my life." And as a police officer, these are the things that you want to see. You want to see that you're not pushing persons or condoning crime, but you want to see certain persons who are moving in that direction, change their trajectory onto the right path. So
I want to ask you another question. With that being said, taking that one step back, how can the public and the police work hand in glove?
As I was saying, I'm here to discuss a little about the initiatives that we've had.
Okay.
Some of them that we do it in several ways. What we have tried, which is working very well, is activities. We had some activities. Now with problem solving, let me show you something which happens.
Let's go.
Let's say junior stats at the police station. Policing is very scientific, and I believe in the science way. Junior stats at the police station, you might see there is an increase in, let's say, threats.
From
the threats, the offense threats.
Okay.
It's summary, but there's an increase in threats. I will kill you. I go chop you guys, and people believe it's okay. Now that is a problem. How are you going to solve that problem?
What if somebody says it's a warning?
Yeah. Even if it's for warning, I am simply saying it is a problem because you cannot go about threatening people, right? You have to look at the victim, what impact it has on them. Because somebody just said to you that I'm going to shoot you, and you're going to work at night. You know how traumatizing that can be.
Because you want to be around your surroundings.
Thank you very much. Awareness. So at the police station, when you realize that is happening, you need an intervention. What are you going to do? You could have town hall discussions in the town. You could have PSAs on the radio. You could probably meet as you said, warning. When you meet them, you quote the section of law, let them know exactly what are the penalties for threatening persons if they want to take you to court and things of that nature. So this is what I'm talking about. You could, because of certain problems that you could see arising through your stats, you could take certain measures to correct it. And after, probably you can wait another 6 months to see all the interventions that you have already executed to see the stats. What is it revealing now? Did it work? Did the interventions work? So that's basically, that's activities. Now, I know that I think, I don't want to put it so, but
just be discreet.
I am different, and I've accepted my difference.
Elaborate some more.
Okay.
When you say you're
different, I think the way I view things
from a different perspective.
Yeah, from a different perspective, and I can understand myself, and I can understand persons who don't understand me.
But are you doing it so persons out there can understand you?
Well, this is this is a very nice question. I remember some time back, I was speaking to a particular police officer. We were speaking about when you go out there and you speak to persons, are you meeting them on the level that they could understand? You want to go to I'm not saying that ghetto persons are not educated. There are very educated persons in the ghetto, but you want to go out and speak to the young boys who probably just on the block. You need to meet them on the level. You need to meet them on the level. You need to meet them on a language that they could understand. You need to learn their language. You need to learn their nature. Right? You cannot just come there. And even when you come as a police officer, there are certain things I believe that you cannot just come, especially if you're trying to engage people. You don't come in that robust police uniform kind of authoritative style, So it's very important that you could meet people on a level. And I say so, I try my best not to, have no time, merge my policing career and my entertainment career. That's two different. You see, Kakal is Kakal. And Sergeant Xavier is Sergeant Xavier.
So different.
Totally different. If you look at any movie star, you look at Arnold, for example, he was the governor of California. When he, whatever he said in his movies and the languages that he used in his movies, when he was governor, he never went and do that. And people need to understand. But we live in a small country, and sometimes it's better to remain quiet than to even push it further.
But let me ask you a question. You spoke about on the entertainment side. Don't you use that platform actually to convey positive messages as well?
One thing I want to say to you, sir, I just said it before, I will not mix these two.
Okay.
And we're here as Sergeant Xavier, and we're going to stick to Sergeant Xavier and community policing.
The reason why I asked this question, I know you might be very influential.
Well, you cannot fake influence. That's one thing I've learned. You cannot fake influence. Yes. You cannot do that at all. And you cannot twist the fabric. You cannot twist the fabric of reality.
Right.
You may try your best, it cannot happen.
Okay. All right, well said. Let's continue with our...
Okay.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's hit the police choir right now.
Yes.
Okay, so with the community policing aspect of the crime fighting strategy, we wanted to cultivate a culture of unity and empowering communities. So with that being said, an idea came to the head where we were going to do some PSAs. We started with the first PSA, which was drink your rum, but don't drink if you're driving. Now, persons, I see you put your head back. But at the end of the day, do you believe as a culture, persons of age who it's legal to consume alcohol. But we are telling you, be very discreet about your consumption. When you drink, don't get behind the wheels. Have a designated driver. So we did a video, which was a PSA. And at this point in time, I would like to just say hello to some of the officers who were involved in this PSA. I want to shout out, first of all, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Verngard, if you're listening, or if you'll be listening in a subsequent time. I want to big up Inspector Bridget Agodel, who's in charge of the CPU. She's based up north. Mr. Ronnie Harris, who is the chairman of the choir. The choir has an executive, so we have Mr. Harris, who is the chairman of the choir. We have WPC 438, Charlene Clement. She's the treasurer. She's based in the south. Big up Miss Clement. We have WSPC 425, Lisa Francis of the traffic unit. She's based at the traffic unit. She's the PRO. And we have Miss Shania Harrow, which is the second PRO. But I'm doing their job for them this morning, that they're supposed to be here. That is so bad. Okay, we have Miss Liesl Leon. She's a secretary. We have Corporal Alden Raphael from the Grosile Police Station. We have Corporal Sabrina Mangal of VPT Castries. We have Nigel Isidore. I think you know him, PC 751. And we have WPC 774, Marva Epiphan from the Choiseul Police Station. Marva Epiphan. We have Adela Joseph, Volney, WPC 259 of the CID Castries. That's the members of the choir that I'm calling out now. We have Aisha Mitchell, WPC 344 from Soko, which is the Scenes of Crime. We have WPC Danielle Jacobs. She's at Immigration South. WPC Exeter Harris, 748 Harris of Records Viewfort. And we have AK Tata Sauce. I think everybody's laughing at right now. Those who are listening. SPC 149 Tariq Wilson from Denry. And we have SPC 459 Eli Box from Traffic Unit. She's taken a break, but she may return. And our most troublesome, and I say troublesome in a sense that everybody who knows will just probably crack up now, WSPC 165 Beverly Williams CPS. So big up to everybody who have made us proud so far in the choir, and not forgetting Corporal Henry, who is the choir director, and also Miss Lucian, who have assisted us in making us who we are today. Miss Priscilla Lucian, who has assisted us in making us what we are. Okay, the choir had several performances in December. We performed at the Turning on the Lights in Viewfort. That was on the Viewfort Square. Then we did the Christmas Experience, which was located at the Republic Bank car park in Viewfort. This happened on the 14th of December. We also performed at the Soufre Christmas Village.
Oh, yeah,
yes, we
normally host that every
Yes, we did perform there. And I must say hats off to the SRDF who has partnered with us, the choir, to assist us. And whenever they call upon us, we have to be there. Big up to SRDF. We did perform at Monrepo at the Majestic Noel. We had 3 big shows at Coconut Bay. During the Christmas season, we performed there, and that was for pay. Hats off to Coconut Bay, because the choir needs the funds to maintain. themselves. So, with that being said, our last performance was at Officer Anthony Laffey's funeral, which took place at Choiseul.
Was it last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, just about a week ago. And we've been getting several positive reviews as to the choir. But I want persons to understand that it's not easy having a choir. And these kind of initiatives really assist both the internal customer of the police force, which is police officers themselves, and also the external customer, which is the citizenry. Putting together a choir is nothing easy, because when you have to, and I believe when I see the way the choir operates, it's almost like the police force in itself. It is teamwork. I push teamwork. I don't believe in that kind of leadership where you are an authoritarian and whatever you say goes on everybody. So that's why we put the choir executive together, so they could manage the affairs of the choir and everybody could have an input as to what's happening. The reason I said that you look at the choir assisting the internal customer, when we ventured into that initiative, we never saw that it was so complex. When Miss Lucian, and I'll say certain things to you that you might not even you might have never considered. In a choir, everybody must be singing their parts. So everybody have their roles. There is soprano, there is alto, there is tenor, and there is bass.
Is that notes?
Well, these are different sections in the choir, and yes, they carry different scale on the well,
musicians would
on the key. So what would happen? The sopranos who sing very high, they have to stick to their notes.
So your vocals have to be good.
Yes, it has to be good. So we do a lot of voice training. So there's a lot of rehearsals. It's almost like when you see the parades are happening, the police parades, you have to go in and rehearse for you to come and give a good performance. That's the same thing we do. Now, what would happen if one person goes off
key?
You mess up the whole team. So everybody must support one another. You cannot sing louder than anybody in the choir. Somebody will jab you. Yeah, because they will be hearing you're not singing solo. You're singing as a team. So everybody must be singing together.
I never from never person.
But I was always singing. I was always singing solo, and I never knew that.
I was not just singing.
No. It's not just singing. And if you're not singing in key,
yes,
they will single-handedly point you out. Fix it.
Wow.
Yes, they will fix it. And even with the choir, sometimes I am actually managing the choir. I need to go to the venues to hear how the system is. No, now we're talking about some of the things that you might be familiar with. When you take that mic and you're about to sing, there are volumes in the mic. There are certain pitches in the mic also. Sometimes it might have more bass. It might have more treble. Right. So you need to adjust it. Now, when somebody begins to sing or speak in that mic, you still need to adjust whilst the singing is happening.
Sure.
So there's a lot happening with the choir. I can clearly recall there was a particular funeral we went to, and then after we sang at the place, the reviews were not as positive as our last one. And when I heard the problem solving again, when I heard the reviews that we were getting, I realized what actually caused it. What was the problem? So I said, we will fix that problem. And I realized it was just the system that we were singing on. So what I had to do was to bring in our own system when we perform. Although it's costly, but then again, you are very concerned about the reputation. So we had to be bringing our systems along with us.
And clarity is a must.
Yes, clarity. And we also had our song engineer with us. So he would do the levels and also the highs and lows where they need to go. So that's what we're working with. We also had a choir director, which is Corporal Henry of the police band. Hats off to you, Mr. Henry. who's assisting us with vocal training and all that. Now, when we go out there, what we've been doing most of the time is to perform for at police functions. I strongly believe that a police officer who has served his life, put his life on the line in this organization, if he passed away while he's in the organization, needs a very good send-off. I always remember, I don't know, I'm speaking there and Laffy comes back to my mind. I know the people of Soufrière will be missing Laffy. I know the officers at the police station are actually missing Laffy because Laffy was
in case somebody forgets, what is his nickname?
Just Tickets.
Right.
Yeah. So this guy had a, I will say it here. I've often said to some of my officers, my subordinates, if you have never been reported by a civilian, especially if you're on the front line, I don't think you're doing your job. If you're not being reported. And the fact is that most times, let me explain this. You're a traffic officer, you go out there and you're going to execute your duties. And there are certain persons who will always try to get themselves in conflict with the law because they want to do what they want. They want to park where they want. They want to, officer, I just park in there to enter and get something inside of there. But they can even cause a death by just parking there, obstructing the view of the other driver, causing accidents and these things. They don't understand how fight goes. It have economic implications on people's livelihoods and even the government, as far as the government coffers. It will dig into it because the more accidents you have, the more nurses and doctors and, the more resources you will need to pump in to getting people back to an acceptable level of health. Yeah. So, as I said, these persons will always challenge you. But if you are firm, what would happen? You'd give them a ticket and you'd go back to the police station and report you. Now, if I am your supervisor and I am having an audience with you and that person, and I realize you did nothing wrong, I will commend you for taking such actions. What about the officer who goes out? He doesn't issue one ticket. Persons do as they want on the road. Would that officer ever get reported?
There's so many questions I can ask you.
You could ask me them right now.
What if it's just him going out there and most times, out of respect, person have a look at him as that's a police officer. I have to be a law-abiding citizen. Let me respect this man, and then no tickets have to be issued.
That is an ideal situation, but we're not living in a perfect world. That would be an ideal situation. We're not living in a perfect world. Persons would want to do their drop-offs. Yeah.
Pat on the shoulder. Sometimes just a warning. Sometimes you might just let them wait.
Sometimes the warning don't work. You'll want somebody 4 or 5 times for the same offense.
No. That's not
exactly.
Fair.
So that's what you have to take action at one point in time because you need to understand that you took that oath to protect and serve. And who are you protecting and serving?
That's true.
The very same people that breaking the law.
Now, you were about to say something about sometimes person doing a drop off. Continue with that.
Yes. But then again, you will still, I've been in traffic checks and there was a particular incident. Like I like bringing up stories because life situations can make you understand what I'm saying. You get somebody, why are you driving so fast? The person took the corner and then coming on you. You will not just say, okay, I accept you driving fast. But the person will tell you a situation. My mother is sick at the back. You could see that, officer? And you would see the person at the back of the vehicle, sick, and just trying to get the person to the hospital. What would you do as a police officer? The humanitarian side of you must come out.
Yes.
You are human.
Yes.
You'd have your mother the same way, sick, and you'd want to get her to the hospital. So that is what I was saying when I mean that. If you're not being reported, you're on the front line and nobody reporting you at the police station, you have a problem. Because you must be doing your job. And that goes back to Laffy. I could clearly recall there were certain persons who would talk about Laffy being too stern or Laffy being this. I would say one thing to you. This was one of my best officers that I've worked with on the streets. During my operations, traffic checks, and I know I know for sure that he's been missed by Sufre.
No put you on the
And
spot.
one of the things, most of the times when persons are no longer there, we see them.
All right, I was just about to ask you. All the time he was here.
I will tell you something.
Reminded him, tell him how.
Yes, I did that.
Okay.
And I did not feel guilty at his funeral. When I got the invitation to do the tribute to him, to Lafayette, I actually did a tribute at his funeral. I spoke to my wife about it. Let me tell you something. The two closest persons to a police officer is the other half and God. And you may have police officers' friend, but I tell you the two closest persons to you is God and the other half. And when I spoke to her about it, she told me, Xavier, just go and do the tribute. She told me if Lafayette did not speak highly of you to the wife would not choose you to come and do it for him. So I did it, and I felt free because during Lafayette's time at the Sufre police station, I recommended him for promotion twice. That is through his appraisals. It's there, the records are there to show. So I knew this guy, and Sufre needs to know that Lafayette, you see all the signs you see in Sufre, that's Lafayette's initiative. Getting the sponsorship, the road sign, getting the sponsorship, that's his. So every time you see a police sign, you must remember Lafayette. Police sign in Sufre to prevent illegal parking and all these things, you must remember Lafayette. I would come to the police station sometimes and Lafayette with his vest. He took off the police shirt and he's cutting with a power saw, cutting the wood, shaping it, painting the signs, using the stencil and the spray paint, getting the signs done. And when he finished with his signs, the man placing his signs in a room, a special room. And to me, he believed that every sign was a police officer. You have to respect the sign. He doesn't. If you come from a different police station to borrow some signs for an activity in your jurisdiction, you have to sign that book and return the Sufre signs. That was Lafayette. He had a special strength. During my time in Sufre operations, we used to do the operations on the road and traffic checks and traffic patrols. We would probably take a couple of motorcycles, and you'd probably need 3 officers or 4 officers to put that bike to the back of the vehicle if it's not functional.
Right.
And Lafayette would do that by himself. He had a technique in putting his bikes on the back of the vehicle. Probably just the 2 of us. Yes. Yes. Sometimes there are heroes that are not, you don't see a monument for them somewhere or a plaque for them, but there are certain heroes that pass, and these are the persons that we do not, I would say that we do not know who our heroes are.
Well said.
Yes, we do not know who our heroes are.
Big up Mufasa. We had a wonderful show here yesterday. Yeah. Big up Mufasa. We spoke about all what we're talking about right now. Okay, so a lot of persons look at persons in authority and in leadership roles as a hero, but they don't look at the support, the team that's actually working with them and making things happen. They don't look at that at all. Collaborative effort. Yes, and that's what it's supposed to be, teamwork, where everybody joining and making it happen. But even in a team, you'll always find that one person that stands out, right? And that person who makes that team. Yes, so with that being said, I believe my colleague was a superhero. I do not know. I cannot say more, but he was a superhero. Big up to the entire team, man. Big up. Yeah, man. Hey, we have 8.5 minutes onto the hour of 11. Boy, I tell you, boy, time is on steroids. Yes. Time is surely on steroids. Let me say good morning to all you guys on Facebook, Radio Land. If you want to make a contribution, feel free. We have WhatsApp 730-5388. Let's get interactive. Sheldon Lionel, good morning. Somebody's asking, does parents get in trouble with the law when they flog their kids? Is there some leeway? And another question, I think, let me see. If there is a report of a threat and you can prove it, what are the procedures and penalties for the person?
Okay, I'll answer the first question. The first question is about can parents flog their kids?
And you're talking about corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment. Well, I'm speaking as a parent. I want to speak as a parent now. I don't want to speak as a police officer. You have that responsibility for the proper upbringing of your child. And I said to a particular social worker once, the government did not give me my child, my son. The police did not give me my son. I know what I want for my children. And I will do whatever it takes within the confines of the law to bring up a respectable young man.
Instilling morals, principles.
Exactly. So whenever you're operating within the confines of the law, I'm not going to tell you want to punish your child and you're going to take a 2x4 and boost the child head. That's abuse. But there are ways you could go around it and let them know that I do not reward bad behavior with gifts. I do not reward bad behavior with gifts. You do something nice, I believe you should get a reward for it. I will do as fitting. I may take you out for some ice cream or, whatever that I can do to make you feel good, what I know you like, right? Whatever you have been asking for a long time, I can probably work hard to get it for you. Yeah.
Likewise, I can punish you by taking the things you like.
Exactly. Yeah, so next question.
The other question was like, if there is a report of a threat and you can prove it, what are the procedures and penalties?
Okay, so there threat is what you call a hybrid offense. There are threats that could go both summary or it could go indictable, which is the high court, right? Or it could go summary, the magistrate court. It depends on the threat, right? That would be determined by, then again, the kind of threat that's made. If you just tell somebody something simple like I will slap you and the person felt afraid. If you're not afraid of what the person is saying to you or communicating to you, that's not a threat. You have to be afraid.
So you have to instill fear.
Yeah, into the person, yeah. So if somebody has threatened you, you're afraid, you go to the police station, you file a complaint and have the officers to investigate. Every threat should be taken very seriously. I will say something here. As a police officer during my career, there is what you call reflection. Sometimes you sit back and you say to yourself, there are things that we are not perfect. There are things that I could have done better, right? And as you grow, you begin to understand that every report that comes to the front desk, you need to attend to it. And not just attending to it effectively, because there are certain reports that may have a propensity of continuing or escalating. So what you do, let's say, especially reports like between neighbors, the neighbor cutting the grass, pebbles flying onto your vehicle and your glass, the neighbor still have to cut the grass next month, right? Police intervention is necessary. It's necessary. You may have a neighbor who has a pit toilet and it's going on that side, it's the sewer, the smell, all these things, and it will reach the police station. Some of it it doesn't even fall within the jurisdiction of the police, but the police now can advise you as to, okay, go to the Ministry of Health or this and that, and we'll do what we can do from our side. Let's go and speak to the neighbor.
I love you brought that about, what about the neighbors burning grass?
And all this too. This is pollution. This is a nuisance.
Don't you need to seek permission from you guys before doing such?
No, it's from the fire service, and I don't think the fire service will approve of anybody burning any kind of debris in residential areas. Yeah, because it has to be properly controlled, especially in a time like now where we have droughts. You do not want persons to be burning debris and then it goes out of control. Where's the water to contain? Yeah, so the fire service are the experts in making that happen. You know.
Okay, just wanted to ask. 2 more minutes until the. Anything you want to highlight? Anything that you will miss?
I must say we.
Oh, someone listening from New York, Sergeant Annie Chatty or Chetty? Yeah, Chetty.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said she's listening from.
Annie Chetty. Okay.
Yeah.
Listening from New York. Okay. So yes, as I was saying, before I leave here today, I want persons to know that a lot is happening with the CPU. The show was supposed to be with Inspector Rene.
Yes.
I would have well imagined that he had his own questions, but you fit in really wonderfully, my brother. I know that you can do it. I know that you're not 100%, but you came there and you made it happen.
Thanks,
I hopefully that I will be back here when Mr. Rene can make it on the radio program, and then we will be discussing more on the community policing side with his direction as to exactly what he wants to speak of. Yeah.
All right, but I want to thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Sensitizing the public, of course, highlighting, keeping us abreast as to certain things we didn't even know that you guys were part of, especially the choir.
Yeah.
And all the.
And this is the first choir. This is the first police choir.
Ever.
I think ever. It was attempted a couple of years ago, but it was not successful. And hats off to everybody who forms part of the choir. I always believe that it's important to have persons who want to be part of than you forcing persons to do things. Everybody wants to be part of that, and we are making it happen. There is a lot in stock for St. Lucia. They're going to see a lot happening with us on the community policing side of things. I want to put in a plug-in. We also having some, as the sergeant of the Labrie Police Station, we're meeting a few persons, stakeholders in the community, and we have one of our very first initiatives, which is Labrie Got Talent. Yes, we're going to be pushing it with the executive of that event. We on board as police officers. We on board because I always believe in the, as I said, the community policing aspect of policing. We with ideas, a lot could happen. An idea brought in the police choir, a lot is happening with it. I was at the Labrie station and I saw coasters come in, dropping off persons for the catamarans and the boats and for them to do the excursions. I saw no musicians at the fair. So I am saying this is an idea that somebody could explore. And we as police officers, we can assist in the development of the entire village. I mean, that's income generating. Somebody could have the little guitar playing, singing, pan, welcoming persons coming through. You could have a few vendors here selling here and they're selling, properly organized, getting, because the more persons you have engaged, the less crime. So we as police officers, we have to find innovative ways of, involving in the community, helping them develop. Therefore, when everything is going smooth, it also helps us as an organization.
Of course. I concur.
Yeah, it makes our work much easier for us. Yeah. So as I said, there's a lot to happen. I think Mr. Rene will bring us in.
Hopefully,
my team, my team and I will be coming up. Mr. Rene will be speaking about it. Also, we have some events planned for Schuzel. It's not only about us, but we got to make certain things happen. Engaging the community, persons in the community, working with them, not showing just the firm side of policing, but we're going to be doing the smarter side of policing.
All the best in your endeavor.
Yeah.
All right. And I hope the choir becomes MTX or Derridian? DYP. DYP.
Yeah. Well, we on our way. We have the support of the Commissioner of Police. who's gonna be supplying us with most of our resources, what we're asking for. So at this point in time, we'll be looking at our own little system, our mini system. Yeah, we're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
No challenges.
And also, we must say hats off to the corporate St. Lucia. Some of them, I will not mention any name before I forget one name.
Right.
And they call me and say, but you didn't mention us. You understand? You have to be so careful. Yeah, but they assisting us, we get in there. The uniform itself, that was from corporate St. Lucia. You saw that wonderful uniform we had for Lafay's funeral. That was from corporate St. Lucia.
Big thank you.
Big thank you to corporate St. Lucia.
Again, any board, you know what? Don't before you forget.
But you know you know that you're
SRPF
is one of them. So and look, the radio program here, I'm here doing it.
And this is a good avenue to explore. So persons will again know what is happening. You know, highlighting different things, sensitizing. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, your voice, your like Super FM.
Yeah, of course.
So you're always welcome to come here.
Of course. I want to say a wonderful morning to Sufre before I leave here. It has been a pleasure working in Sufre, and every time I hit by Ladera and coming down and I'm seeing that mountain there. The peaks, it's really wonderful. That's what sells St. Lucia. And a lot of thoughts come to my head. I think that's where I get my inspiration for some music and some songs.
But see you as controversial, no?
What's that?
People don't see you as controversial, no?
Well, I leave it to the interpretation. Everything you hear about me is true. Everything you hear about me is true. Yeah, that's what I first told Laffy, and he had the smoke on his face. Everybody was serious, but Laffy was just smiling because hey, boy.
Folks, that concludes the show for today. Again, we just want to apologize for Inspector Rennie. Yeah, he had matters, some pertinent matters to attend. So again, just want to apologize, but hopefully he's going to be here next week, Friday.
Yes, he's going to be there.
But I want to thank you for managing your time to make time to be here.
Yes, I'm going straight back to work, and I need persons to understand. Sometimes I watch a comment on the internet. The person said, why are police officers taking the government time to sing? I'll let them know that most of the time that police officers do their rehearsals. Are you laughing? Most of the time, and that's why.
Said it, I have to laugh.
But you have to say it like that because people need to understand. Most of the police officers that form part of the choir is their day off that they come to the rehearsals. Yes, they come. Yeah, I'm telling you. That's why sometimes I say to myself, and it brings back unity, camaraderie. It brings back that esprit de corps. Just having that choir. I saw certain things happen in the choir that I have not seen happen in a long time in the police force. I saw officers apologizing to police officers, and these are the things we want to see happening. It's not about the hatred, or I don't like meat, or I cannot work with meat, and all them kind of things. I see a lot of nice things happening, and we want to take it from us because it's said that the police force is a reflection of the society. I want the society now to be a reflection of the police force. A good police force now will filter down into the community.
And here's why I asked you, police officers, civilians supposed to be working hand in glove, togetherness. You understand?
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yes, that's the way it's supposed to happen. So I letting you all know. Look, now I'm on the program there. I'm going back to work.
But you remember what you used to be on a program before?
Yes. We had a couple of programs.
Yes, we did.
And I like to be frank. I'm not going to beat around the bush and don't see things because it'll hurt people feelings and things. I mean, sometimes we have to rise above that. Think with your mind, not with your heart.
But I always believe if you're giving constructive criticism, the person's supposed to take it. But if you're bashing somebody, you're supposed to have a solution to the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, makes sense. So hats off again to you, the radio station, for allowing us to come through. Sufre, have a wonderful weekend. Sergeant Xavier, over and out.
All right, folks. Till next time, God's willing, take good care of yourself and have yourself an amazing weekend. All right, stay safe.